Miss. Hi.
Hi.
Good evening.
Good evening, Chioma. So could you add me on
I
my
already
other
did
line as
that.
well?
Um,
Okay, let me check that. So if
not
it's that
sure why it's
this,
not shown.
let me
I
see.
just tried to add you again.
Okay, I've seen it.
Mhm.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, I'm just testing the audio so there's no echo.
Okay.
Okay, can you all hear me? So good
I
evening,
can hear you pretty
everyone.
clear.
What do you say?
I can hear you pretty clear.
Fantastic. So good evening, everyone. Um, my name is Eniola Olushola. I'm the general manager of the Miss Nigeria organization, and today we're launching our IG live series called Moments with the Queen, and our very first guest is Chioma Obiadi. She is the 40th Miss Nigeria.
Hello, everyone. It's good to talk to you.
So, as some of you may know, Chioma won the Miss Nigeria pageant in 2016. And since then, she has done so many things. She has started her own business and she has gone for other pageants. Last year, she was at the Miss Multiverse pageant. So we just want to talk to her. So our audience, the people in our audience that aspire to be like her, that want to be a queen someday, can know what it takes and what the future looks like after that. So Choma, you could take it from here. Let us know a bit about your journey so far and what you're up to now.
Well, like you already said, I won Miss Nigeria some 5 years ago. And obviously the rain was nice. I always use this word. It was very educative because it taught me a lot that I wouldn't have known at that age other than experiencing Miss Nigeria. It was beautiful. It was an educating experience. I loved everything about it. And after that, I had to go back to school, complete my education, and now I have an interior design business. That's what I do full time, and obviously still model on the side since that's a hobby that I love, and I think I would always continue doing as long as I still look the part, which I think in this day and age, everyone looks the part because it's been so broadened that even if you put on weight or you don't have the Coca-Cola bottle figure, it doesn't mean that you cannot work with brands. It doesn't mean that you're not model material anymore. So as long as you're still ready to put in the work, you're still ready to pose and you're available, then why not?
Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the world has changed so much, and because people now see beauty more than just the physical beauty. Beauty is also intellectual, which is something that you spoke a lot about during your reign. I mean, I've seen a lot of videos of you speaking, and that was one thing you were very consistent about. Well, one message you were very consistent about. So some people don't know that you had actually participated in the Miss Earth pageant before
Mm-hmm.
you went on to participate in Miss Nigeria. So what made you participate in Miss Earth?
Actually, Miss Earth pageant was introduced to me by a lady I met, an ex Miss Nigeria. Actually, I contested for Miss Anambra whilst I was still in school. I didn't win, and it was organized by Miss Nigeria 2022. Her name is Wando Okosa.
Okay.
And she saw me, and for some reason, she took a liking, or she felt like I'm someone who needs to go international. And so she called me a few months after Miss Anambra and said, "Oh, there's this opportunity. I don't know if you'd be interested. You would have to do a contest in Nigeria and go for an international pageant. And of course, I was interested to broaden my
How old were you
horizon.
then?
I was, I think, 20. I think
Wow.
20. I was no, it was on the same year with Miss Nigeria, so I was 21. Maybe I hadn't turned 21 yet. I was like 20 when she told me about this. And
Yes.
so I met Miss Ibinabo and we did the contest. It was an online contest that year and I won. And obviously it means that I was going to go to the Philippines to represent Nigeria. I was excited. Miss Ibinabo was completely nice. She took care of everything, made sure I was all right, prepared all that I needed to go for the pageant. And I went sometime August that year. I went for it where there were girls from over 90 countries. That was the
Wow.
first time I experienced pageants in that scale. Miss Earth pageant is one of the biggest pageants in the world, of course. So it was
Yes, it's one of the big four.
exactly. So it was super excited. We were there for 3 weeks. I didn't get bored. My roommate was Miss Peru. I made friends that I still see and hang out with up till this day. It was really nice. Oh, that's me. And that's Miss Hungary and Miss England. So
Yes.
yeah, it was interesting, and I really loved my time in the Philippines.
Okay, so I'm just going to share some more videos so like our audience can actually see how you've evolved over time.
Mm-hmm. I was quite chubby there.
I don't think so. Okay, so oh, these are more pictures. Let
Yeah,
me go to the video.
Miss Russia, Miss I can't see properly, but
Okay. So it was a very brief clip of you, but here we go.
Choices. We need to use things to their maximum capacity before they are being put into the environment. If we all change like it matters and appreciate the earth, then we can all make a difference.
yeah.
So that
So this
was
was
a
our
very
video
quick intro,
before.
and I was able to just get clips of you while you're on stage.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, so that's it. So, what was it like being on that stage?
Um, because there was a lot of us, and at this time we were already together for 3 weeks, so we had bonded and we were pretty much friends. So it
Yeah.
felt like a very fun activity. You know, we had practiced and practiced and practiced, so it was the routine. But then there's the crowd, and the pageant is very big in the Philippines. So when you come out of the chair, everyone talking about you and just like cheering you on, you feel a certain level of confidence, and you feel a certain, you're happy to be there. And it was amazing. I liked it. I liked my
Was
experience,
your
and I
family
think
there
it
with
was
you?
no, actually, I couldn't go with anyone. I went alone, which was kind of sad. But to be fair, I didn't feel as alone compared to how I would have. Yeah, I felt a little intimidated in the fact that some of these girls had 12 boxes with them,
Wow.
everything sponsored, everything, especially girls coming from Asia where pageant is very big.
Very
And
big.
for me, who I'm coming from Nigeria, a young girl, didn't have much. I had 2 boxes. I had all the major things because the Miss Ed organization had already provided them. But girls were wearing couture every day.
Wow.
And yeah, that was a little bit intimidated. But other than that, intimidating. But other than that, I was there to have fun. I was there to enjoy my life myself, and I did.
Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
did you feel that people of color were given an equal chance at the Miss Earth pageant?
Well, I would like to say that to an extent, yes, we were. Because most times when we had taxed, we were grouped into continents. So
Uh-huh.
within your continent, I mean, you're pretty much almost all we're almost all black in Africa. So within your continent, you don't really have that idea of, oh, maybe because you're black, this or that. So I didn't feel that. I didn't get a sense of that. The only thing I could say was that I felt like the girls from Africa were underrepresented because pageant isn't as big as it is in other parts of the world here. So a lot of girls, like the girls from South Africa, Ghana, me, we were doing a lot of things ourselves, whereas girls from other countries had things completely sponsored, had their family and friends, had everybody there. So that's the only thing. But I think it's just the way the nation as a whole takes pageants and how much light is being shed on it on this side of the world.
So I know that when I watched the video, I was not happy. I was a bit sad when I saw that you didn't make it to the top 16. How did you feel then? Did you feel that you had it, like you were going to win? Or
to be fair, when I came to Miss Earth and I saw all the girls from like something countries, I knew that I wasn't really going to make it, not because I wasn't good or good looking enough or whatever, but just because I felt like I wasn't prepared enough. These were girls that had gone for coaching classes, they'd gone for catwalk classes, they've been preparing for pretty much a year, and I prepared for 2 weeks. You know, and like I said, they had this support, they had this, like the costumes were already made by the top designers in their country, they had all this. So you can't compete with a person that has been preparing for that long, and most times it's like the opportunities are not like completely equal. But I didn't feel that I was being put aside, or I didn't feel like it was unfair. I mean,
I actually saw you at some point cheering, like you were raising your hands up.
Yeah, because I was happy. These were my friends. I remember one time, Miss Venezuela, because then I hadn't done all the trainings with my heels, even though I naturally like to wear heels, but not like really high heels. So sometimes when we are practicing for a while, after a while, I want to take my heels off and relax. And I found out that a lot of the girls, especially from the Southern American countries, would never take off their heels no matter what. So I said to Miss Venezuela, I mean, doesn't your feet hurt? Take out your heels. I said, no, because they've been trained to carry themselves like that at all times, no matter how hurtful it is. And I was still in that natural state where my feet hurt. I'm taking my heels off. You know, so yeah, that was the difference then. But it was a beautiful experience. It was good. I have zero regrets. I completely enjoyed myself.
Okay, so then when you came back home, how did you hear about the Miss Nigeria pageant, and what made you decide to participate?
Well, I've always known about the Miss Nigeria pageant, and having gone for Miss Anambra, where Miss Wando was the creative director and she was an ex-Miss Nigeria, freshened memory. And then the Miss Earth competition also boosted my confidence because now I knew a lot more. I had a lot more experience. I was a lot more confident in myself because I was because most times Miss Nigeria are girls in Nigeria that might not have had the opportunity to compete internationally.
Yes.
So I just felt like it gave me an edge. And I was I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it for the longest time because I was like, okay, do I want to do this? Do I want to? But towards last minute, I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. The worst thing that's going to happen is I'm not going to get picked. And nobody died from that. So I just picked up the form and I did it. And yeah, here I am.
Okay, so let me share the moment that you were crowned. And I think that moment is always a defining moment for beauty queens. That moment where they're crowned, you might not even expect it, and they called your name and you looked a bit surprised. Let me play that video for our audience. Let's see. Okay.
The winning moment for reigning Miss Nigeria beauty queen Chioma Obiadi.
So now the funny thing is, most people, like when you're watching at home, you can't really tell who's going to win. But when I saw you answer your question, I just knew she has taken it. You were so confident. Let me play that moment so people can see. Because you know, most times people at home, they think, oh, this thing is rigged. But there are people that just stand out in the crowd. I need to play that so the audience, our audience can see that as well.
Mm-hmm.
1 second, please. Okay, here we go.
I would like to say that I don't believe women should teach especially in any way because we're just as strong, as brave, as combination.
I don't think I've ever seen this video.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, so
I don't
you know,
think I've ever seen it.
most people don't know that the question and answer session is like one of the most important parts of the pageant, especially Miss Nigeria, because you know we are about what the beauty queen can bring to the table aside from just her beauty, beyond beauty. So you know that moment was actually a very powerful moment. You made a statement at that point, and it was just very clear at that point that you know you were the winner.
No, I remember the question so well. I remember that it was Rita Dominic that asked me the question. I remember how it went. And to be fair, after answering that question, I had a lot more confidence because I've had some people answer before me and had some people answer after me. And I felt like I answered better than them all. And all the while we were in camp, Miss Nigeria organization kept on saying to us that your intellectual strength is like 80% and your physical look is like 20%. So I felt like the question was going to be what would define if I would win or not. And after that, answering the question, I felt a lot more confident. And I was just like, okay, let's
You got this in the bag. So did you know at that point that you were going to win?
You cannot 100% know until like you're actually crowned, but I would say I was a lot more confident, especially because like if you even go to like the YouTube videos where they were about to announce and they were like, and the winner is, and you know the suspense going on, everyone was saying Anambra, Anambra, Anambra. I'm like, everyone can be wrong now.
Yes, true.
Exactly.
Okay, so in your opinion, what is the most important personality trait a contestant would need to win?
I think the Miss Nigeria organization, unlike so many other pageants, they like people who are willing and able to learn, especially quickly. You know, I say to people that Miss Nigeria is, for me, is more like a job than a beauty pageant because you have
Yes.
actual responsibilities that you have to keep up with. People think it's just looking pretty and going for events, but during my reign, I had tax, I had letters and proposals that I had to write before it's taken to presentation and vetted and all. So I think the Miss Nigeria organization is always looking out for queens that can be level-headed and that are ready to learn, that are ready to improve themselves, improve their skills, that have actual social skills, not just to make TikTok videos, but that could be in rooms that are with people, men and women that are 3 times your age, and you're able to have a meaningful conversation with them. I think that's one of the most important things that Miss Nigeria organization looks out for in a queen.
That makes so much
I
sense
think
because
Miss Nigeria should be made a political position, not a pageant. I feel like she should be pretty much the ambassador of youth or something like
yes.
that, because I feel that's the kind of role she plays. Like having gone for other pageants and seen the difference, I think if that could work and that could be made into a thing, I think it would make a lot of sense.
Okay, so I'm going to play one more video because I would like people to understand how you've evolved. So there was a video, I think that was almost immediately after the pageant at the press conference when we were speaking. And then I'm going to play a video when you're about to hand over, so people can see how much the job as the beauty queen helped you evolve in such a very short time. I mean, when I saw that video, I was amazed. I was like, wow, is this actually the same person? You were talking so much more confidently, you know, you were just, let me play it so they would see. Like, it's ridiculous. Okay.
You know, it's funny how I've not seen a lot of them.
Oh, are you serious? Okay, we went on a deep dive to get all these videos.
The way it's supposed to be, then we do not have anywhere to practice all of those courses that we've attained and all of the educational standard that we've attained. So my what I do is basically to reach out to communities, children, and people generally, and teach them how this environmental issues affect them personally. Depends on the crowd that I'm speaking to, and make them understand that this is not a battle for Nigeria. This is my battle. This is your battle. And if we can work together, then we'll be able to make Nigeria a better place. We'll be able to sustain the blessing that we do have in Nigeria.
Okay. So now I'm going to play the video where you're about to hand over.
When Chioma was a baby, did she ever at any point in her life think she was going to be a queen?
Yes, actually. My mom calls me Queen Darlene or Queen Elizabeth because I've always been in Igbo they said lecha. The girls that I've always been like that. Despite the fact that I have 3 brothers, so I was the only girl, and everyone would expect that I would be a tomboy. But I've always been very girly. I've always liked to play dress up. Most times I just wear things and just come around. I've always, even before I knew what a pageant really was. So I started my journey in school because my dad wouldn't let me do model until I got into like the university, and so I started in my year 1 with school pageants, and then progressed onto.
So now what I noticed is that like you were more confident, even sharing stories, personal stories about yourself here. You seem more confident, you know, talking more more freely. So and this just happened in the space of how many months?
At this point, I'd probably gone for 100 interviews, so it was like
I can imagine. I can imagine. But I mean, you've done great work.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so if you could go back and give your 21-year-old self a piece of advice, what would it be?
Relax. Relax. Relax, because she wanted everything now, and I would have told her that life is about stages. You cannot get everything at once. Yes, you become queen overnight, but that doesn't mean you now have access to Nigeria's treasury. Even the Queen of England at the end to build all of that, because that's a misconception a lot of girls have with pageant, that I'm queen now. I need to have a chauffeur, I need to have this, I need to have that. And, you know, the pressure can force you into situations that you might not be too proud of. But if you're relaxed and you understand that, okay, this is actually a self-development journey. It's not about the things that are on the outside. Those things will come eventually, but those are not the things that you need to focus on. You need to focus on building yourself as a person. And that it would be easier, and it would also reduce the level of disappointment you get, because sometimes when you're expecting that now I'm crowned, I need to have this, then you might feel a little bit disappointed. But no, that's not, if that's your reason for coming from Miss Nigeria, then don't apply. If you want to develop yourself in full and actually become a better person, then do apply, and you wouldn't regret it. At least I don't, and I don't know any other queen who does. So yeah, that's what I
Okay,
would
so
tell
now that you
myself.
mentioned it, what did you spend your prize money on?
Actually, I spent so the money itself, was split as a salary, and most of them were being spent on like charity work. Because I also
Oh,
got
wow.
money from like jobs that I did whilst I was Miss Nigeria, and that money was used to take care of myself, and a lot of things were also being taken care of. So I used that money to, help out in the ways I could, because I'm asking for sponsors to come and help me out with my Green Girl project. And if I'm not ready to give even like part of the little that I have, then obviously I'm not serious about this. So that was what.
Wow. Wow. That's actually very, very inspirational. Wow.
Yeah.
Well done. Me, I would have spent it on, on the latest fashion.
No, there was a lot of other stuff, and I was also lucky that I had help from the executive director then, Dr. May. She also helped me, and taught me that you don't have to be wearing thousands of dollars worth of outfits to actually be a
Yes.
queen. All you need is your sash and your crown, really. If you wear a
And the
t-shirt,
right
if it's
attitude.
yeah, carry yourself properly, and you have your sash and your crown, and you walk into a room with someone wearing blink up to toe, you would still pick interest, and they're like, okay, this is Miss Nigeria. That's a shiny looking girl, but this is Miss Nigeria. And there is a difference. And I also found that, especially older people, it was easier for them to relate and even want to help out with my growth when they saw me looking like the 21-year-old girl that I was, as opposed to when I was dressed up in all these flashy things. Because if you look like you got it all together, then you're good. You don't need
Yeah,
me
you don't
then,
need
you
help.
know? Exactly. So if you walk into like let's say shares holding, you walk into the CEO's office and she sees you looking all glammed and you have the handbag that she has, she's like, okay, you're good. But she sees you as this young girl who's still trying to figure out her life, which is pretty much what you were at 21, pretty much what a lot of people were at 21, then she can hold your hands and decide to mentor you and decide to give you opportunities, decide to maybe give you a scholarship, pay for your education, and all of that. So it's better to be who you are than try to be something else.
True, true. Okay, so now I'm going to get a bit personal. So, I mean,
Okay.
in all of this work that you do you have time to, like, for your personal self to go on dates, for your love life? Are you in a relationship?
I do have time if I want to be fair. But the thing is, I feel at this point in my life, I'm not interested. I am really focused on building my career. As everyone already knows, I'm a lover girl. So if I want to do a relationship, I want to do it truly and fully and passionately. And until I find someone who changes my mind, I would say
What's your ideal man or your ideal
Alejandro.
partner? I'm sorry, this was not among the questions before, but it just came up.
I mean, I just need someone who's God-fearing, who's loving, who's selfless. I find that with people I care about and I love, I am selfless. I keep giving and giving and giving. So I need someone who can also say, okay, relax, let me give this time around. Because when you hang around selfish people, whether in a relationship or friends, they're going to take and take and take and drain you, and
Yes.
I don't want that for myself. So yeah.
So all the guys on the live, I hope you guys are hearing. Okay. So what do people misunderstand about you the most?
Some people think I'm a snob, and I'm not. I'm an introverted extrovert. So there are times when I want to be sociable and I want to be around and I want to hang with people. I love meeting people. But there are also times, a lot of times, where I want to be on my own and I want to just relax and stay on my own. And there might be at that time when I'm on my own and maybe someone is trying to come to me and I'm not as responsive and they think, oh, who does she think she is? It's
Yes.
not necessarily that. I could just be in my head. It's not necessarily about you, or I could have I could be in a bad mood, or could have had a stressful day. So I just need people to just be a bit more understanding, not just to me, but to everyone, because you don't know what people are going through. And I'm one person who really talks about or shows my negative, like the negative parts of my life, even though I'm going through a lot. And you see me, I'll probably smile and act like it's all good, but it might not be good. So we need to take it easy. Everyone is not jolly every time.
But actually, when we first spoke, I could tell that you were very warm. I'm the kind of person that I see, like I spend a lot of time on myself, on my own. So I study people, and I study their body language, their speech pattern, how they pause, if it's genuine. And speaking with you, I could tell that you're a genuinely warm person. So I don't think
Thank
you're a snob
you.
at all. I don't think
Thank
so.
you.
You're welcome. So, can you tell us a little bit about your business? Did you always want to be an interior designer?
Well, I've always been a person who I don't like house chores, like wash and play, kitchen chores, but I love organizing. Yeah, I know I'm
I
an
hate
African
it
woman.
too,
I should like it, but yeah.
especially
But I
plates.
always no, I don't like it. But I love organizing spaces. That's one thing that growing up I didn't mind, even though I didn't like house chores, but I didn't mind organizing, rearranging, putting things together. I didn't realize that it could be a job up until 2020, where I was supposed to go for my master's, and then COVID hit, and I was like, okay, what now? What am I going to do with my life? And I started researching on things that I could do in the meantime and discovered interior design and discovered how broad it is. And I was like, I like this. I want to do this. And I started trying out my hands in it from my house, my friends' houses, and all of that. And people were like, okay, you actually like this. And I saw that I could make money out of it. So why not? So I set up a company and I've been doing that ever since, and I'm loving it.
What did you want to be when you were a child?
A princess?
Okay, I can now understand the whole thing about beauty pageants. Okay.
When I was a child, I never really wanted to be like a doctor or an engineer or anything like that, to be fair. I think I've always wanted to be a businesswoman. I've always wanted to be a mom.
That's Igbo in you.
Yeah, but not even in the crazy form. I've always kind of pictured myself as a mom. Being a mom has always been very important to me.
Okay.
And I see my friend in the comments, she knows me. Being a mom has always been important to me, being a businesswoman, but building my business to the extent where I don't have to struggle all the time. I do like the good things of life. I like to be able to relax. I like to have good food. I like to travel. I like to not always be on edge. But I also understand that I'm still in my 20s, so I need to work extra hard now so I can relax later on in life. So that's what I mean when I say princess.
Okay, that still makes sense. I mean, you're living actually you're living your dream, your childhood dream.
I'm almost there.
Um, so how many pageants have you participated in so far?
Wow. I started, so I had a plan when I
Okay.
started. 'Cause I, I couldn't do pageant until I got into school because my dad said education first. So I had a 6-step plan. It was supposed to be um, I was supposed to do my department, my
Mhm.
faculty, my school, my
Mhm.
state, my country, and then international. That
Okay.
was my 6-step plan. So I did the three, my department, my faculty, my school, and I won all three. And I felt,
Mhm.
okay, good. Then I did state and I didn't win. I came second. I felt quite sad, and that was why I felt like maybe this is not for me. But thank God for Wando, who introduced me to the Miss Earth, and that boosted my confidence again. And I went back on track and did Miss Nigeria. Uh, after Miss Nigeria, the way I was like built, the way my mind changed, I was a bit more not so crazy about doing the international per se. I was
Yes.
more about building myself, and even though I do like the idea of international pageant, but mainly because of how it exposes you to people around the world, how I get to meet people around the world, not necessarily because I think I need to bag the crown after the crown after the crown. So I just focus more on myself and doing what makes me happy, meeting people, exposing myself, learning cultures from all over the world, and that's what I've been doing since.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I know, like, being in public eye, definitely there'll be times where, there'll be good feedback and, negative feedback. So, what's the worst thing that someone has said to you that you're actually proud of? An insult that you received that you're proud of?
I think the worst best thing that people have said about me is that I'm full of myself. And I'm like, what am I supposed to be full of?
Like, you're your number one priority. Okay.
What am I supposed to be full of? I believe that there's a difference between being confident and completely loving yourself and being proud. I think I'm confident and I've always loved myself. Maybe because of how I was raised. I'm the only girl. I got lots of love from my mom, my dad, my brothers, my aunties, everybody around me. So there's never been a time that I felt like I wasn't enough. I feel like I'm the prettiest girl in the world. I feel like I'm the best girl in the
Yes,
world.
queen.
I'm not ignorant. So I don't feel like I'm the smartest. I feel like I have things I need to learn from everybody. But I'm completely happy with myself. I mean, I shaved off my hair and I still feel like I'm the
That was a
prettiest girl
very
in the
bold,
world.
bold move.
Yeah, I think growing up, my parents put a lot of confidence in me, and being able to win all that I've won just made me feel like I got it. So if you don't see it, then you're the problem.
Okay, so tell me three most influential people in your life and how they impacted you.
Three most influential people in my life. I would say my parents, my auntie, who is now late, and God.
May your soul rest in peace.
Amen. Amen. My parents, obviously, they were the ones that introduced me to everything that I know in life. They've always been there for me. I told you about how they raised me to be confident. My dad would say, Angel, how are you? My mom, I always felt special. And I think that helped with my self-esteem a lot. God, because I grew up like fourth generation Catholic, and I'm very deep in my religion. I believe strongly in God. I believe strongly in the Catholic doctrine, and I feel like asking, "Oh, that's my mom, Mama." I believe, and I've seen God come through for me so many times in my life, and I do believe 100 and 1,000% in God. My auntie, because growing up, then my auntie, she didn't have a child for a long time, so we were kind of her children. We used to go to Port Harcourt every other long vacation, so she was a very important part in raising me. She was always there for me throughout my teenage years. She used to make this joke that when I'm about to get married and they come to pay the bride price, that they're going to pay her a special bride price because she had put in a lot into me. She was very loving. I remember when I had my pageant in Oka, she came all the way with her husband. They came for it. She was always cheering me on. She was like my biggest fan. She's someone who always believed in me and would always say that you're going to be great. You're going to be great. And, so I loved her a lot.
It's actually very important to have role models that are very close to you. Most people say, "Oh, my role model is Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jackson," but it's actually important to have realistic expectations of what a role model is. Someone that you've seen, someone whose life you've actually watched and you can actually model your own life after. I think it's very important, and it's very good that you have role models that are very close to you. Very important. Okay,
Yeah.
so now, if you had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Easy plantain.
Really?
Yeah.
Every
Fried
day?
plantain. Yes. Fried plantain, fried, boiled, grilled, whatever, as long as
Okay,
it's
so there's
ripe.
lots you could do with plantain.
Yeah. Yeah, very
Okay.
easy.
Um, so now, what's the one thing your business did that you didn't expect?
Ooh, it gave me a great deal of patience.
What did you
Because as
say?
you know, yeah, because working with uneducated, like working with craftsmen who most of them are not fortunate enough to have education,
Yes.
having to relay what you have in your head and
Yes.
having to let them understand what you're really trying to say can be a lot, can be so difficult and frustrating. And at first I would treat it like I'm talking to someone who's on like my level of education. I'll just say, oh, so you need to just do a rectangular this and do it like that. And obviously they'll say, okay, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, even though they don't understand, and do what they've understood. And at that point it's too late and you're going back and forth and money has been wasted. So now I understand better. So when I'm talking to people, I would come, even if I need to speak a local language, I speak a local language. I talk to them nicely and, make sure they understand. Use diagrams, draw it. Okay, I want this wardrobe to look like this. This is the inches, this is the measurement. This is exactly how I want it to be done, to make sure that they understand me and also that I understand them.
Them.
And it's been a lot better.
How's your pigeon, by the way?
How's my what?
Your pigeon, pigeon English.
Uh, it's all right.
Can you say something?
It's all right. No, now you put me on the spot. I'm going to say something wrong. But if it was
Okay.
natural,
Okay, let me see. Say, can you make it like a circle like this? Can you make a circle like this?
make you round. Make you
Okay.
round. No, round.
Okay, not bad. Not bad. I know mine is worse. Anytime I try to speak pigeon, I never find the right words. I mean, people put me on the spot, but when people put me on the spot, I never find the right words. I might say,
I also find that, okay,
I might
I'm listening.
mix English with the pigeon and then, it just falls flat.
I also think that when you're talking to someone who's fluent in pidgin, it makes it easier for you to speak. So when I'm talking with my artisans, it's more natural than when I'm
True.
talking to you. It's like, okay, this is
It's not natural, I guess.
yeah.
Okay. Um, so what is the most important lesson you've learned over your career?
I said that already. Patience. It's taught
Okay,
me to
okay.
be patient. And he also taught me, patience. Just keep going, keep going. Don't give up. Cry if you have to. Dry your tears. Wake up tomorrow and continue.
Okay, so what's your morning routine like? You're a model, you're an interior designer, you're a beauty queen. Rather, you're a professional beauty queen. People don't know the difference. There are people that go for pageants, like one off, and people that do it consistently. So, what's your morning routine like? Okay, let's say you have a pageant to go for. How do you get ready for that?
Okay, so let's say it was on the day of the new Miss Nigeria handover,
Yes.
and I probably have work also that day. I'll wake up. Maybe I'm not a morning person, so if I don't have to, I don't like to wake up on time. But when I have to, I would. So I'll probably wake up at 7 because it's a long day coming. Then say my prayer or shower. I don't want to lie. Sometimes I'll shower first, I remember. Or sometimes I'll be in the bathroom and remember and say my prayer whilst I'm showering.
Yes.
Have my bath, do my skincare routine, my face, my body. I don't really do a lot. I'm not a person who likes to have a lot of things to do because I get bored easily. So I just want to do my cleanser, my serum, my moisturizer, and my sunscreen. I
But
don't
you look like you
have.
have really clear skin. So, I mean, later you'll drop your skincare tips, but let's keep going.
Not a lot. It's not a lot, to be fair. It's not a lot. And then I just do that. I use my, body lotion, Laviana, and my body oil. And that's it. I get ready, have breakfast sometimes. Sometimes I'm not really hungry at the time. Then I just dress up, go to the site. I don't, on a day to day, I don't do makeup. I just go to work like that, probably wear a short and t-shirt and a hat, or just like very simple. Go to work, supervise my sites, go sourcing if I need to source, depending on what I need to do at work. But if I know
Yes.
I have a beauty event in the evening, let's say for 8, I'll probably try to get back on time, like at 4-ish. Because one thing I do not like to do is to dress in a hurry. I like to take my time. I don't like being under pressure, especially when it's a leisure. I feel like leisure is supposed to be leisure. I don't
Exactly.
mind being under pressure for work. It's weird.
I
I
mean,
don't
why are you
like being.
stressed out to have fun?
Exactly. Like, I don't like that. If it's work, I understand. Okay, I need to wake up, fire brigade method, do this, get out. But if I'm going to chill, then everything needs to be chill. I need to be in the right mindset. So I would want to relax, have my bath. I would have sent my hair out to be like done if I'm wearing a wig, or I would have gone to the salon before coming back if I'm making my hair. Then have my makeup done. Most times I do it myself, except if it's obviously an important day, so I'll probably get my makeup done. Then just quietly listen to music, maybe drink a glass of wine whilst I'm getting ready to just get myself in the mood. And yeah, I leave at 7 so that Lagos traffic doesn't frustrate me.
Okay. That
Yeah.
that seems like a really smart routine. So most people don't know this about you. You studied geography and metrology.
Yeah.
Why?
So people always ask me this. Geography was my favorite subject in secondary school.
Oh, mine too.
Ooh, so it was that subject. I was very competitive in secondary school. Like, I always wanted to have the best grades. So it was that one subject that even if I didn't study, I would get an A. So I felt
Yes.
like, okay, I'm just naturally good at this. Let's just do this. And that's why I wanted to do like geography or geology. Those were my
I
options.
actually studied
And
geology.
geology. Oh, nice. Exactly. So the two of them, I wanted one of the two. To be fair, if I'm to go back now, I probably would study business administration, economics, or something along that line, because that's more in line with what I want to do in life. But I mean, geography is still, it's interior design, the study about the earth. It still works. So yeah.
So did you eventually get around to doing your master's, and what would you be doing your master's in?
Not yet. I'm still looking to do that. I'm not sure. I have two options: either doing an MBA or doing a master's in interior design. One of the
Oh,
two.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh, I
one
didn't
of
know you
the
could
two.
do a master's in interior design, but I
Oh
mean,
yes,
obviously you
you could.
should be.
Yeah, you
But
could. You could. That's more of my first choice. MBA is like a second choice, but let's see how it goes.
okay. So if you could give the people, the young ladies that aspire to be beauty queens, what advice would you give them?
What would I say? Why? Like, ask yourself, why do you want to be a beauty queen? I feel like some people want to be a beauty queen for the wrong reasons. So you need to actually search and see if, so for example, like I mentioned about geography, I studied geography because it was my favorite subject. You know, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what I wanted to do in life. Do you get what I mean? So ask
Mm-hmm.
yourself, is what, how does this fit into the future you actually want for yourself? You know, if you're doing this because you want to become a billionaire all of a sudden, then maybe you shouldn't, because there's no 1,000, there's no proof that being a beauty queen means that you'll be a billionaire. But if you're doing this because you want to improve yourself, You want to be able to meet people who can be mentors to you. You just want to be better. You want to build your confidence. You want to give yourself the opportunity to even compete. You must not win to have gotten something out of it. Competing
Yes.
alone, being there, learning from other girls, learning their cultures. You could even make lifelong friends. If that's your reason, then I would say go for it. Be free, go for it, have fun. Be competitive, but don't let that get in your head that you're so focused on winning that you're unable to make friends whilst you're there. I don't
Yeah,
think
having fun is very important.
having fun is very, very important.
Yeah, because
Like,
most times, so I like watching pageants. I've always been interested in pageants, and I can always tell people who aren't enjoying it because they have to force the smile, they have to force their interactions, and then you can tell that this person is not really into it like that. They're just doing it because they want something, and they want the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I mean, so
yeah,
it's always good to always just go there and have fun, meet people, have a good time, and then you'll be surprised. Okay, oh, you won. If you win, fine. If you don't, okay,
fine.
you still had a great time.
And besides, it's terribly hard to do something that you don't enjoy,
True.
even as a real job.
It's a lot
So
of
people
acting.
think, yeah, people think modeling is so easy, but trust me, trust me, it's not. The only thing that makes it kind of easy is that you love it. So I'm one person, I get dizzy spells when I stand for too long. And my mom keeps asking me, I don't understand how you do pageants because you stand, and I actually don't understand it because on a normal, when I'm standing for too long, I get dizzy spells. But when I'm in the zone and I'm having a pageant where we need to stand for hours, not even just standing recklessly, standing in a pose, I'm able to hold
Yes.
that pose for a long period of time. I think it's just because of the love that I have for it and the fact that I'm actually enjoying this, and that's why I can do it. Like, even with my job, I get frustrated all the time, but the outcome is always worth it. The look on my client's face when they come in and say, "Oh my God," that's what keeps me going. So yeah, do it if you enjoy it, not just for what you get out of it.
So before we round up, I just have one last question. So what's next for you?
Come see
Do you see
Kobe?
more pageants in your future?
No, I don't think. I don't think. I mean, never say never, but I'm not aggressively looking for a pageant. I think for me now, and I want to build my career. My career is like top priority. I want to build my
Yes.
career. I would like to get more education. I also think I'm at a point where I'm starting to think of a family, mainly think of children, because like I said, being a mom is very important to me.
Yes.
So I mean, in the next 5 years, I would like to see myself with, like, see my business as one of the staple names in Nigeria and Africa. I would
Yes.
like to have my kids. I would like to have had my master's in 5 years. And so, yeah, those would be the top three things I would like to have in 5 years' time.
Okay. So just for our audience sake, Chioma's business is called Tyra Home and Designs. There's
Yeah,
also Melai, right? Am I
Milia.
pronouncing that right?
Milia.
Milia. Ooh.
Yeah, Milia is still in the
Okay.
works.
Yes, Milia. So sorry. So
Yeah.
just you could go over to her page, check out her business, patronize her. You know,
Yeah. You get a
that's
queen's
what.
hug.
Sorry.
You get a queen's hug if you patronize.
Okay. Yeah. So follow her and get your queen's hug. That's until no after you patronize, then you get the queen's hug.
Yeah.
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 Okay. So thank you everyone for staying for our live. Chima, thank you so much for agreeing to this live. So
Thank you, Eniola.
until
It's
next
been fun.
time,
Bye. See you.
bye.
Mwah.